broadcast. Aha. I don't know what it is about this new headset. So, yeah, here we are at KMCO, Orlando. Looking north, there's the city. Let's go over, let's see. I wanted to take a look at Orlando International, see what it looks like. Not bad. Not bad at all. Man, there's a lot of people here today. Look at all those cars. Yeah. I don't believe the wind is that strong. That looks strong to me, but you know, you can't get the wind from here. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. Why doesn't this show the current weather? Um, but it's live weather, so I can look at Sky Vector. 140 at 5. That looks more like a 12 knot wind or so. And are there really trees in the middle of the water? Maybe that's an island or something, I don't know. But yeah, I would say this is quite well done. And it does have an FBO, which is, you know, I was thinking about it this morning when I was planning this flight. Um, you know, what airplanes, you know, the airplanes that I choose, you know, because I could fly lower and slower ones. But I like flying into regional airports. And, you know, if I buy an international airport, I want to be able to fly into it. And, you know, anything slower than probably a Cessna 208 is probably not going to be, I mean, it's not going to be something that frequents an international airport. Cessna 208s will because they're carrying cargo all the time. But even the other day when I was flying out of Atlanta in the, believe it was the TBM. Was it the TBM? Um, you know, Atlanta is one hopping airport, and I don't see anything. I mean, occasionally you see some bizarre airplane like a Cessna 172 fly into Atlanta in the real world, and I don't know what's going on there. But you don't see anything much smaller than typically a citation, I'd say, at Atlanta. At least that's what I've seen just looking at FlightAware. Maybe I'm wrong, but you don't see Cessna 208s even going in there. I imagine they go into Peachtree to Cab or some other nearby airport. Or they just use larger cargo airplanes in that particular part of the country. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. Sometimes I get mixed up with other airports. But yeah, no doubt that this is a great airport. Well done. I'm looking forward to the day where cars don't disappear. You know, someday. But then, yeah, Once I get that, then I'll want them to follow traffic signs and traffic lights and make left turns, stuff like that, won't I? Never enough. Never enough. Beautiful. Just freaking beautiful. You know. I could just sit here and watch this. But we're going to a beautiful place today. We are going back. It's funny how that thing does that when you zoom back. Um, we are going to Nassau in the Bahamas. You know, I'm expecting to see people adding birds to their airports soon. Haven't seen it yet, but I know they're in the sim. But I would expect to see it. It'll be interesting to see that someday. Not flamingos, not here, please. But something. All right. So it's early in the morning on a Sunday. Usually I do something weirder on a Sunday. At least I try to. But I'm still deep trying, learning this airplane. I was reading the manual last night, learning more about VNAV, and it's pretty capable. It's got good capability there. The one thing that I'm not used to, especially in an airplane this small, is it has the ability for you to create a hold. That's pretty cool. So, and let's see if I can remember how to put an APU on here. Directory. Oh. Index. Status. I don't think it's status. Pretty sure it's under index. Mod set, I think. Ground power unit. There we go. And this way we don't have to start the engine while we're putting the flight plan in. So, initialize position. So dir posinit. Interesting. Okay, we're going from KMCO to MYNN. I'm looking forward to this flight because, I think I said that they electrical 22 amps, amps are minus 14. Um, I think I said that they hadn't improved the Caribbean, but I think they actually had some, especially the water, which was the most important part, to be honest. Their water down in that area was okay, and it looks like it's better. I took a preview. I snuck a look last night, and I just wanted to see if that's a good place to fly, and it looks brilliant. I mean, I just went around the island, and it was nice. So it may be that I get to fly much more in the Bahamas. I'm more interested in flying twins over the ocean than I am flying TBM, even though you can do that with a raft. Um, More interested in flying twins, and I'm thinking about that once they get the bug fixed with the flaps in this sim, that I might start trying to fly the Baron. I mean, it's not the low and slow that I wanted, per se. I prefer a twin because I can go more places. And I like twins. But, you know, there are obviously lower and slower airplanes, or at least slower. I don't know, you know, when you're flying low and slow, that's different. But, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then we'll see what airplane falls off. And it may be this one, to be honest. I'm not sure. Let's see. Where is this? Is not my flight plan. This is my flight plan. Rearrange these windows just a bit. Okay. We're going direct ORL. But I have to say, I mean, they're making real progress on this plane. They've got some things they got to fix. Or add. Not, I don't think fixing is right. Unless the floating that their experience is northwest. That's us. Unless the floating is excessive, which I feel like it is. But it's okay for now. I don't know what TRV is. Vero Beach? Is that what that is? BR62V. B. 2ZFP. Northwest, 2633, 26 west. Oh. It just says CFP. We're pretty close to each other. I'm not sure that anybody would beat us up for 2 miles. BR63B. ZQA. Might try out some of the let's see, ZFP. Let's put that back in. This is a VOR. I'm gonna guess it's this one, not the NDB. Yeah, that messed things up, didn't it? Now it's going to BR62V to Jackal. Interesting. Okay, so let's do this. No. Okay, so how do I fix this? Let's... Hmm. How do I fix this? Let's go here. Alright, let's do this. Let's go... No airway match. Let's try that. Let's try this. Well, I remembered that. It blew away my flight plan. I'm gonna try it again. I'll think about trying to get that VORDME north and west. This is the one. And I'll think about trying to figure out how I can explain that to the devs. TRV shouldn't be too hard to explain it to them. And then BR62V. This is one of those situations where you're watching a video and you're thinking to yourself, you know, how do I fast forward? Oh, that's right. And ZFP, ZFP, and this time I'm going to select the VORDME, and BR63V, BR63V. This is the time of day when my dogs wake up, and I have to get them outside CQA, so I'm kind of rushing myself here a little bit. Alright, CQA and direct. Okay. Did it get it right? Looks right. Looks right. Perfinite. Well, now would be the time to put fuel in. $24.07. Well, we've got 28, so we're good. And it always comes up with this. All right. So we're at 50% fuel. We've got a pilot, co-pilot, and a passenger. Cruise altitude is 430. You can put an FL430, which is 430. And cargo. See, I can put in 3 passengers. See what happens. And do I have a cargo spot on here? Couch. Baggage. Looks like I've got 300 pounds of baggage. So my max takeoff weight, or my total weight, is 14,100. Well, it's closer. Let's see, is there anything? Oh. Passenger 6 is lurking. 13,971, 13,970. Good. I got close this time. So wind. I'm going to go with the real world and I'm going to cross my fingers. 140 at 5. Closest. When is that doing out? 140.5. And the temperature is 21. I could get some fog here. The temperature and dew point are right at one another. When they're within 2 degrees, it's a good chance for fog. That's the only thing I know dew point is good for. 3021. 30. Pressure altitude is minus 289 feet. Okay, that's okay. And we'll have to set the altimeter once we get the PFD going. Alright, so that's performance, departure, arrival. We are... I don't think we're using any SID or STAR, are we? Nope, we're not. So, but we are departing on runway 18 right and arriving runway 14. 18 right. Exec. And that's it. I think we're done. So lower menu, put this on plan. You can MFD advance and go to next waypoint like you do in the big airliners. There we are. And then move that to where it needs to be. Go back down to legs. Up, but we didn't finish performance. Takeoff. Okay, so I put that in, that's in. Next. And we gotta send those. Rotate at 97 knots. So committed at 95, rotate at 97. And then 15 degrees flaps. And V2 is 111. And VT. I don't know. What is VT? I don't know. That's done. So I sent them, even though this is not on, but maybe it goes into the computer. That's okay. Alright, so we want engine on. That's your lower menu off, upper menu on, and I'll turn on FMS text in a bit. We'll turn on checklist in a moment. In fact, I'll see, that's not going to do us any good though. But yeah, let's take a look. Doesn't do a lot yet. Okay, so I'll turn on. Oh, that doesn't do a lot. Maybe it doesn't do anything until I turn on something else. Upper menu off, and okay, so let's turn on the checklist. So there's two checklists. There's normal checklist and there's passenger brief. So I assume they'll have an emergency checklist at some point. See, and one thing I'd like to be able to do is you can select these, and it would be nice to be able to switch back and forth between checklists. I got to figure out how to do that. After landing, all engine go around. Because I don't want to have to go through the all engine go around checklist after I land, right? Yeah, see, that doesn't do anything. Battery switch is on. Emergency light switch is armed. That looks like an ELT over there. I hear the dogs. Oh no. Pulse lights, passenger lights. At least we can turn that on, huh?
May I have your attention, please? The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time. Thank you.
Those were apparently recorded out of a real airplane. I don't know where the emergency light switch is. Okay. Your captain is still learning his airplane. Sit down and get comfortable. Standby flight display switch is on. Okay. And avionics switch is dispatch. I'm not going to worry about the standby flight display switch. I'm assuming that it's this. Oh wait, there it is right there, it's on. Oh, and there's the emergency lights are armed. Okay. So we're making progress. Learning bit by bit. Let's see, so I need to map this to a switch. Where is? All right, so if I were going to go here and I don't have anything else. I think VNAV doesn't respect constraints while in descent. I'm just reading. We can test that. We can test it. I know they're working on this thing. Here we go. Wait a second. Documents. Parking brake is set. Yeah, there's a few interesting things about this airplane. One is it does respect VNAV on climb, though there are weirdnesses to it. But it's better than nothing. So it interacts with FLC mode to climb you up, supposedly. Now there's some discussion about how it's doing with its VNAV. Well, maybe, well, I don't think I'll have an opportunity to try most of that out on this flight, but maybe on the way back I can, if I can find a good star that has altitude restrictions, which I could. I'll look at Miami, or, well, KMCO does have stars that have restrictions, but they're suggested altitudes. So, could come back here and use those restricted altitudes as required altitudes, and then just see how that goes. Okay, so avionics switch is dispatch, that's true. Parking brake is set. Oh, that's right, I was going to set the switch. Oops, I did something. Yeah, somewhere I was reading that you could set some controls with this LVARs and stuff like that. But it may not have been on. I'll have to hunt it down. I'll try it after this is after I fly. But I'd like to map this because it's a difficult frickin' thing to hit sometimes. Parking brake is set. Wheel chocks. Just have to say the removed cabin doors obviously closed. Passenger briefing is. If I wanted to do that, let's see, how would I do that? Checklist passenger brief. Take off. What do you think? Long? Let's see what the long one is. Glutton for punishment.
May I have your attention, please? Welcome aboard the Citation CJ4 aircraft. Your flight crew will make every effort to make your trip a pleasant one. At this time,
that's
please
a lie.
refer to the passenger briefing card located near your seat for important safety-related information. Smoking is prohibited aboard this aircraft while the no smoking lights are illuminated and prohibited in the lavatory at all times. Aviation regulations require passenger compliance with lighted no smoking and seatbelt signs, placards, as well as flight crew instructions. For taxi, takeoff, and landing, please ensure that your lap belt and shoulder harness are fastened and all portable electronic devices are turned off. Tables, luggage, and loose articles must be stowed and secured. Seats must be in the upright and outboard position, and your headrest extended per instructions located near your seat. To fasten your lap belt, place the flat metal end into the buckle. Pull on the lap belt strap to tighten the lap belt. To fasten the shoulder harness, pull the shoulder harness strap across and in front of you and hook the metal end onto the stud located on your lap belt. To release your lap belt, depress the latch release on the top portion of the buckle. To release the shoulder harness, unhook the metal end from the stud. Because of the possibility of unexpected turbulence, please keep your lap belt securely fastened about you at all times while in your seat. In the event of cabin depressurization, oxygen masks will automatically drop from overhead compartment. Locate the nearest mask, pull the mask down to the full length of the tubing, and place it over your nose and mouth. Adjust masks by pulling the elastic straps and breathe normally. Don your mask prior to assisting others with their masks. An emergency exit is located at the right side of the aft cabin. To open the emergency exit, remove the plastic panel covering the release handle. Turn the handle in the clockwise direction. Pull the top of the emergency exit inward, lifting the base out of the opening and into the cabin. Discard the emergency exit.
There we go.
Exit the cabin by stepping through the opening onto the wing and continue forward off the wing. The main entry door, which you use to enter the aircraft, may also be used as an emergency exit. To open the main entry door, first push in on the inner paddle located above the inner handle.
Man, that's a long message.
Second, pull down on the inner handle approximately 90 degrees. Push the door open and lower the stairs to exit the aircraft. Life vest locations are placarded near your seat. To don the life vest, tear open the storage bag and remove the vest. Place the life vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, buckle, and tighten the strap. For children, wrap the belt around a leg, buckle, and tighten the strap. Inflate the life vest after exiting the plane by pulling downward on both red tabs. If the life vest
Alright,
fails
I'm going to start
inflate,
the engines.
blow
I'm
into the manual
tired of
inflation
listening to
tubes
this.
attached to the vest. For information on the location and use of fire extinguishers, as well as other emergency or survival equipment, refer to your passenger briefing card or consult your flight crew. Thank you, and have a pleasant flight.
Thank you. I'm going to start this engine, then I'm going to put my flaps down because I want to see if this thing is. This will be the third flight that would have screwed up on me on. So this week they're supposed to release a patch to FS 2020 to fix the flaps issue. Just a single thing to fix just that. That's where we need to be. Now let's put the flap down. Yep, did it again. I don't know what to do about that. Alright, let's shut that up. Alright, so let's get rid of that, get rid of that. And the see, delete event, add event, and put it right back in again. Add action. Maybe I should do this when I first load, until I get this sorted out. At least I know about it, right? So let's, come on. So put that back to stop, put this here. Tedious. So you depart 18 right, and I guess you make a right turn to Orlando and then come around, or they would give you a vector this way. I'd be willing to bet you'd always get this left turn to intercept the course. Alright, so we're good there. Let's try the flaps again. Yeah, see, I don't know why, but if I unmap it and then remap it, everything works. Okay, so check. ECAS is good. Opposite engine. I really like flying airplanes with FedEx. And there we are. Good. So closed. Check external power, disconnect. So that's IDX. Next, mod set. And ground power off. And next, electrical system check. So that's under system. So DC electric is 23 amps, battery is minus 22. I wonder if that changes. I'll leave that up for a little bit. Avionics switch on. Climate control norm. Passenger. Trims. Good. Flight controls free and correct. Speed brakes. No spoilers, check. See, it's weird. That should go all the way back. Whatever. Fix it later. I don't need it that much. I had it fixed. I had to do some magic to it to make it work right, but I had it fixed. Flaps set. Hydraulic pressure is 3,000. Engine only anti-ice as required. Takeoff data is confirmed set. Autopilot engage and disconnect. Engaged. Disconnect.
Autopilot.
Good. Altimeter. What did I say the altimeter was? 3021. 3022. And, you know, since I'm putting that in, I'm going to put in my altitude, which I'll say, I'm going to say 4,000 today, and my heading will be 18. Why is that going in 10 degrees increments? Didn't do that last night. Whatever, when I pressed and held, it stopped doing that. Okay, we're just taking the wag of 180 degrees. So we got heading set, this is set. And pink lines, preset is localizer 1, really? Okay. And altimeter is set. pressurization doesn't work. ECAS is fine. After doors. Okay, so then taxi. So taxi light is on. Brakes off. And then we do all the stuff that you do in every airplane. Alright. And I'll leave that up for now. We're going to 1.8 right. Hello. I am going to adjust this ground steering bit some. Eventually. Whoa. It likes to taxi in the 20 knot range. I'm going to slow it down. I assume they're working on this taxi speed thing. Should not be doing this. Where your brakes out. I don't know what the rudder bias system is. I don't think it's modeled yet. Seats are upright, flaps are set, speed brakes on. Trims 3. Set for takeoff. Oh yeah, all 3 trims set for takeoff. Group briefing complete. Speed brakes on. What does that mean? It doesn't have a arm that I know of. so we can check off all this. Check, 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 check. Before takeoff. Radar is as required. We will terrain. Go around button. Push. Good. Battery amps verified 30 or less. They're 20. Check. Ice protection systems will take care of. Exterior lights as required. ECAS is good. Take off. Okay, so yesterday, let's see, so let's get rid of the system. Oh. Okay, so let's a better look at that. And you can set these memories too. I don't have any, I've got to figure out how I want to set things up, but so you can have weather on this one and terrain on this one. That's good. Or vice versa. Traffic doesn't work. Nav data button doesn't work. But we can do this. Now we're all set to go there, so lights, icing, flaps are set, transponders TARA, and switches, which would be the park and brake. So yesterday when I took off, my initial climb was at 3,000 feet, and this thing is a beast. It will overspeed readily. So I'm going to pull back my power after I level up at 4,000 feet pretty significantly. Here I am trying to hold power, trim the airplane, and adjust power, or hold altitude, trim the airplane, and adjust power all three at the same time. Speed, oh man, look at this thing go. It's 190, 200. I've got to pull back on power now. Go to climb for now. Go to heading mode. And I've got to power back. There we go. And where's switch?
Altitude.
And let's AP this thing. Alright, and let's do a nav. So that worked out pretty good. So about 65% power is pretty good for pulling back power. So we can't really do much with VNav on this flight because we don't have a star with multiple step downs, but we could do an long track offset at least, and perhaps a, well, not, can't really do a VNav direct. Oh, no, no. So we'll use 50% power. Let's go up to 10,000. And let's pitch 200. I think that's the ordinary thing to do in this airplane, is to use flitch more than you use VS. Nice easy climb out of Orlando. I like this. You don't have to climb out like a rocket. We'll do that soon enough. Yeah. Okay, so heading pressed.
Altitude.
That was a nice easy climb, and now we'll fly over the coast and then we'll go up. Last night I flew into Orlando in this thing, and I have live traffic on, and one airplane flew right in front of my nose, just across the front, big airliner, and then another large airliner, looked like an Airbus, flew right down my right side when I was on final. Thank God there's no wake turbulence. So, yeah, I'm not necessarily sold on the whole wake turbulence or the whole live traffic thing. It's cool sometimes, right? Let's see. So there's that, and there's that. There's a heading, push, nav, push, approach, push. So I can push those. And then the indications. And there's upper panel. But there's nothing for incrementing or decrementing the heading with a L bar, but maybe we'll try some. We'll try something like this. Does it work? That's weird. Oh, it works. Look at that. Certain things I can do. Wasting gas. Wasting gas. I brought some extra. What is TRV? Treasure. Maybe we can get a view of Vero Beach down there. Yeah, we'd be able to. We're at 10,000 feet. Doesn't look like 10,000, looks lower. But, you know, so... Looks like they've got a little thing going on there. See it here or not. There it is. Always think about my next flight. Always thinking about it. Let's go to camera. Yeah, that looks okay. I'd do a flight into Vero Beach. In fact, I should try to fly into pretty much all these airports. Alright, we have seen a lot, and it's cool, and I love it. Oh, what am I doing? So if I flip this to altitude, no, gotta fix that too. And we'll do a little bit with the, let's do FLC. Let's climb at 240, see what happens. eager to see this water. See if they've done anything to it. Need to map a view right there. That's the instrument view. Yeah, I'll map a view so I can see this better. There we go. Let's look at the weather. Nassau. 120 at 15. 3023. 26. Warm morning. So if I 120 at 15. That's right. Let's see, so let's do approach arrival. Runway 14, ILS 14. Yeah, I don't have anything, grab charts. Major, yep. And exact that, and let's go back to the legs page. And really, we should go to yeah, thought so. Let's get rid of that, and you know, I'll do this. I'll go from Hank X to Major. Might go to, let's see what's Mooney. That is no, we need to go out to, yeah, we could go to Mooney. So, Hank X down to Mooney. Next page. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last night. That looks good. Mooney at 2,000 or above. So, So that's 30 miles. So let's at Hank X put 4,000. And just for fun, let's put in Mooney slash minus 10. Put it here. Yep, that worked. Exact. And then we'll put in 2,500. Good, it worked. So that works. So now we've got VNAV set up. That worked really good. Let's see. And I thought that if I clicked this one, that it would do a VNAV direct to it, which would mean it would skip the 4,000. Like it would still fly to Hank X, but skip the 4,000. If I get a chance, I'll check on that. 120 and 15. 120/15. Outside air temperature is 26. Altimeter is 3023. And I don't think I could see. It does not give a let's go here. Taxi. It's from airport info. Elevation 13. There's no slope to the roadway whatsoever. Okay. And 101 and 107. Okay, so that's done. Now, when I flew over the Atlantic from Miami to Nassau, you could see the bottom of the ocean. So I was hoping they would have done something there, but you know, I mean, it was pretty flippin' amazing, actually. But this is okay. Not going to be real picky. Enjoyable flight. Much more so than I've had it in other sims so far. So this airplane definitely still unnerves me. Oh, wow, see, there's another feature. I set 240 for my climb speed. And when it flipped over to Mach, it is making adjustments for Mach based on my altitude. So I hadn't noticed that before. That's pretty cool. Alright, so let's go lower menu and go back to first position. So in a lot of ways, this airplane has a lot of the same capabilities as like the A320, except for the auto throttle, of course. Compared to the A320 more than I do the Boeing airplanes. So far, at least. So that must be Freeport right there. Let's see, so yeah, that's Freeport down there. Grand Bahama Island. I'm going to take a look at it in the dark. I can.
Altitude.
Altitude, really? Oh, that's right, climate. Yeah, you can see it some. Not a lot. Oh, there it is. No, those are clouds. Right there, this whole area. Wow, that's dark. Here we go. So I said that, go back to legs. Now the question is, what do I have to do to get it to do this? I've got my VNAV restrictions in, but I haven't clicked VNAV. Why is that a triangle? That is a diamond. I'm gonna tell you what. Zoom out. I don't see a VNAV spot. Oh, it's already telling me I've got to be. I did the same thing again. Damn it. So it doesn't. Okay. Let's get this thing going. Alright, we're going to put in 2,000 feet. We're going to DS down. All the way to idle. And let's get the speed brakes out too. Never turned on half bank, so I'm okay there. Okay, so we've selected the ILS. ILS frequency is 110.1. It says its preset is VOR1. I'll let it go for a while. I want to see if it switches on its own. That should say Loc 1. Minimums 232. I believe Alright, good. VNAV is still engaged. Might catch it up. This is like flying, it's similar to the TBM, but there, for one thing, things happen faster, and two, there are enough differences to make you have to think differently. you know, the ability to create fixes for VNav, that helps a lot. But I don't know what how to work VNav Direct yet. So we'll see if it gets down to Hank X, you know, if I make it. I mean, the pink donut here is moving up, so it may engage the nav path when it hits that, and we'll see if it gets to 4,000 and respects it, and then respects this 2,500 and this 2,000. Oh. We'll see if that works. Some idle speed. I don't know. Don't know if it's going to make it or not. It's trying. Actually, no, it won't. Well, it's expecting 2,000 here. So if I just do a little experiment here. This is 4,000. Didn't move very far, did it? There's not much I can do other than S-turns. Well, I could get, I could put some notch of flaps out. Why not? See if that helps. $25,000, so this is where I'd shut half bank off if I'd have remembered to put it on. I wanted this to be a relaxing flight. Shorter flights are always more challenging, which is, I guess, good. Now, you know, if I square this off, if I come out and make a left turn here, it will not let me go back to Hank. I think they have a bug. Hank X. But why not? I'm doing everything in the world to get down to Hank X by 4,000. Yeah, Hank X. Mooney is I need to be at 2,000. Well, we knew that. So it's Beirut right now, and then there's Hank X. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. I want to do this flight again. Don't need to, I want to. Oh, there we go, there's some water. Look at that. We're at 19,000 feet. Okay. So now technically we are on the route to Hank X. Yeah, I've got to figure that VNAV thing out a little bit more, or the top of descent thing a little bit more. I have to say the views out here in the Caribbean are really good. We need to go further out. See some more islands. More. The preset is still VOR1. One 0.1. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Get down to the terminal area. Should be 110.1. It'll be nice when they desync these two, where one can display something that the other one isn't. You know what I'll do is I'll go a little bit beyond and then I'll come back. Lights are on. See, it says alts and path, and I'm on the path now, but it's not showing. Question. So do I need to hit VNav again, or, well, we could try it. Okay, and then let's do a legs exec, and let's nav. Hold on. Alright. This hopefully will be a pretty descent. Let's stow those flaps. And, so it's direct hanks. This must be the active leg, is the way that it's thinking. That's okay. Now I know. So now we'll see if it respects the 2500 here and the 2000 here. And really, it says it will do it. I'm still in VS mode. BPTCH. Pitch. Vertical pitch. V-pitch. But it's still descending at 2,000 feet per minute, so I guess the trick here is okay, so now let's put this down to 2,500. No, 2,000. We need to be at 2,000 at Mooney, yep. And then we descend to 1,700. So I don't know why the pink donut is here. Now it's on B path. Okay, good. At least it's doing that. That water. While it's not clear, it's believable. not gonna make that. It's trying. All we need to be is within 300 feet. So BNav is saying 2,500 feet here, should be there. Pretty damn cool here. I think I'll up to 180. Thereabouts. Hey pilot guy, how are ya? Long time no talk to. Couple of weeks, or a week, at least over a week. This is the CJ4 in FS 2020. Nice view out there. I've been learning this thing for the last few days. It's pretty fascinating, pretty good. Even though I still think it floats like a balloon, but I think that may be because of the FS 2020 bug. Maybe. We'll find out. Yes, this is the mod. I wouldn't fly it unless it had the mod. That's, you know, with their autopilot bugs, I'm still I've been avoiding FS 2020 because of all the bugs, and there are certain criteria where I said once I get an airplane that didn't have X bug, then I would fly it. And so this one, I'm sticking with this one until they do the turnover this week on the flaps bug. just stick with this one in FS 2020, and then once they fix the flaps bug, then I'll probably fly the Baron as well. Because I want to fly something slower. But I may wait 2 weeks because they're supposed to come out with an autopilot fix too. You know, so just avoid it. You know, every time they do a turnover, they break something. But this is a nice airplane. I don't know if you've tried it. I have never flown the DA-40. How's the autopilot in it? Does it work okay? Are you having problems with the flaps right now with it? Man, this is so cool. I know that they fixed some things with the autopilot in the last update. I don't know.
Altitude.
I don't know which one. But in one of the last updates, they fixed something. You know, so they're making incremental changes, and I'm hoping that we get, you know, get enough to where you can fly with some accuracy. This one's pretty good. I mean, it's got a boatload of features in it. The VNAV in this thing's pretty decent. If only I could get myself to get used to it. But you know, when I do try something out, like a long track offset, it worked pretty good. Autopilot is nice, and they added systems and auxiliary fuel tanks to the DA-40. So now it has the proper range. Good. I'll take a look at that one. I tried the DA-62 because I want a twin. Getting some bumpiness here. And I enjoyed it quite a bit, except for the autopilot bugs, which that's kind of what sent me packing for, well, it's one of the things that sent me packing for X-Plane. But also, I mean, it was other things as well. I mean, I just really, I don't know, I just missed it. And, you know, I love flying X-Plane at night. So, if I fly the TBM, I'll be flying that on X-Plane. At least for the foreseeable future. I'm flexible. I'll do whatever, you know, what is the most meaningful. I just, right now, it's got the most features. And they're releasing a Phenom 300 for X-Planes soon. Not that I'm real thrilled. I mean, I'm okay with it, you know. I'll probably get it. Just I used to love to fly the Citation Mustang, just because I studied the crap out of that airplane and modded it. I'm gonna notch the flaps out. Ooh, very close to my flap speed there. Use it mainly for VFR flying, so it doesn't bother me that much that the full functionality. The G1000 mod makes it better as well. The color looks better on the G1000 mod. That's all interesting. I'll try to get that G1000 mod installed. Because I would like to see, because it was annoying me, those colors. It was one of the things. It doesn't have to have all the G1000 features, I don't think. And like I wouldn't go rush. The only reason I would rush out, be turn. The only reason I'd think hard about the, well, of course, I don't even know if that thing has VNav. The DA40. For the TBM, I'd want it because I fly into regionals, and sometimes they put you on a star that has all these step-down altitudes, and I just don't want to sit there and mentally be calculating constantly. I don't mind calculating, but I want to do it like maybe once or twice. Otherwise, you sit there just, rather than enjoying your flight, you're just constantly doing math. And the TBM VNav isn't perfect. It's good. It's not perfect. Let's see, we're on localizer, approaching glide slope. Where do you fly? In Europe? Do you fly the DA40 in Europe? Or the US, or both? Just wherever you want to go? G1000 has some added fuel page, and you can fly track up. That's good. Track up is brilliant. Well, instead of flying only north up, yeah, the DA40 has. But I never used it in real life. We did anything manual. Or manual. Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't have idiotic stars with all these step-down altitudes, it's fine. I was flying into, I think, Fort Lauderdale, and I had a star that had step-down and step-downs, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, it was coming at me fast and furious, and I was like, I cannot deal with this. And that's about the time that I quit simming, was because I realized I really couldn't do it with FS 2020 if I was going to be going into those airports. It would have driven me nuts. Remember, I ended up doing, I think, a 270 coming back to the airport. Totally screwed it up. Gear down. And I'm still learning, I'm still learning this airplane, but there's a lot in it so far. I need to study some more videos. I've seen some pilots fly this thing, and normally I would fly the approach at the approach, but what I've seen folks do with this airplane is, alright,
Autopilot.
They'll fly down to about 3 miles at 180 knots, 3 or 4 miles, and then slow down. So I need to sort of study that. Trying to learn an airplane by trial and error and YouTube videos is a challenge. So I'm gonna have to watch what I'm doing here. But I've been real happy with this airplane so far. Very flights to where? Curious. You know, I need to look at that airport. Well, did we look at that airport? The one in the Italian mountains in FS 2020? I think we did. And I think, you know, I'll be real curious to see if they update that area when they do the Europe update. I know that's supposed to cover like Benelux and all that. Okay, so yeah, I'm farting around here, aren't I? Now let's see if this thing floats.
Minimums.
I'm way off. I'm still a little bit overwhelmed by this airplane. I'm right on VREF, so I'm going to pull my power. It's floating. Just floating, 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 floating. Floating, 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 floating. This is... I think this thing suffers from the flaps bug. That's just... I don't know if I even need my spoilers. That's just way too much floating. Yeah, I might. Certainly the big question is all that floating. It's just an unbelievable amount of floating right there. I mean, you know, I only flew like Pipers, which are low-wing airplanes, similar, a lot lighter. And if you were on your speed, you got a little bit of float, but not very much. And right now, I think there must be. Like, I'd be real curious if I did that fix to this airplane where you divide the flap effectiveness in half and do an approach. I wonder if it would have, I wonder how it would handle. But yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out how to do the VNAV direct in this airplane. I think this is my taxiway here. Strobes off. Pitos off. Yeah, that airport in Italy, was it Laguna, Laterna, something like that? Flaps up. Park and brake on, taxi lights off. Lugano, that's right. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to go to main menu, continue. It was a Citation Mustang I saw fly into there. And I remember we went there, but I don't remember if it was in this sim or another one. Or an X-Plane. Lugano. There? Lugano. See what it looks like. I think it was in this sim. It says right there I can go anywhere in the world. Anywhere. Anywhere. I just want to look around. Oh. Nice that it reminds me to put fuel in. That's pretty. No, I don't think we... I think it was an X-Plane we looked at this. Wow. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, no, that was... I don't think it was in this. I think it might have been an X-Plane. Yeah, I saw a Citation Mustang flying here on a video, YouTube video, and I was just blown away with how beautiful it was. This kind of shows that beauty somewhat. I'll have to do this flight. From where, right? But yeah, but didn't we take off? Because I remember we took off from, we flew down through the Alps, down into Italy. Um, Not very far. Naples, maybe? And then we went right and went up the French coast. I think it was in a Cessna 172. Yeah, it does look good. That was back when the Cessna 172 was the only decent airplane they had. Well, that's not fair. But this thing has had it's been going through what I call a beta, I think. It's really been, it's starting to come out of it. Things are starting to stabilize. We'll see. I mean, the flaps bug, my mouth dropped open when I saw they had the flaps bug. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, I went up to Marseille. I mean, what was a long flight? It was, yeah, all the way up to Marseille. And I have done well. You saw, you were there when I was flying down from England. I've been to- going back and forth with England, and X-plane, England and northern France. I flew across the English Channel after I talked to you in the Cheyenne, and that was interesting. It was interesting. It was pretty at night, but yeah, I haven't. I flew back into that airport I took off from. Uh, what was it? And I did find out that they've got a version of that for X-plane. Kind of pricey. Where is it? Nantes. Um, but yeah, I'm really more well. What I'm interested in is the Greek islands in FS 2020 because when I flew from there, I don't know if you saw that flight. It's been so long ago. It was gorgeous. I mean, it was just gorgeous. But even this, um, I should have actually gone outside when I was there at Nassau because it's a beautiful island. Even in FS 2020, it's gorgeous. FS 2020 has the daytime, especially low down graphics. Um, they're winning that huge, and X-Plane's got to circle the wagons there and do some stuff. But X-Plane is more consistent. Certainly, they don't introduce flaps bugs. Not a small place. Wonder what the altitude is here. What else you been doing? You been flying? Um, Cyprus and Western Turkey. Really? From Austria to Ethiopia. And you're just using default airports, right? I mean, my impression of the default airports is that they're about, like if 100% done, you know, if it was a third party doing it, it would be like 100%, and then X-plane quality would be say 20%. Just somebody does a freeware one, or it's one of the default X-plane ones. Um, I would say that FS 2020 falls into maybe the 60-65% range. So they're uh, usually acceptable. Usually you can land and feel like, that's not bad. It feels like a real airport. I still do buy some third-party airports. I've got some Orbix ones and some other things. Uh, which I'm gonna check out. Which I bought San Jose, California, and Bob Hope Airport, which is in Los Angeles, north of Los Angeles, in Burbank. So I like flying Santa Barbara, so it gives me places to fly from Santa Barbara too. And this I'm flying 4K now too. They didn't used to have a 4K option. I found out 2 flights ago that they've added a 4K option. And so I'm gonna adjust my settings. Wow, man, that is so pretty. I still like the new X-Plane night lighting, but this is, boy, for daytime, this is just knocks your socks off. And it looks like they're working through the bugs on the weather on this too. Yeah, flying low and enjoying the scenery, no doubt. You know, I was commenting yesterday that it's weird because you see all this beautiful scenery around the airport. I mean, buildings that look pretty realistic. You know, not perfect, but pretty realistic. Sometimes even the right color. And then as soon as you enter the airport grounds, it turns into generic buildings. Which to me, it's just weird that, it's an opportunity. I think it may be an opportunity for them. Because they could apply their AI to make the FBOs look more realistic, if nothing else. Uh, they've got more data in Bing Maps than that, so we may see some airport improvements as time goes on. But again, it's not putting me off of flying this thing. It's good to see it come as far as it has, and I am so grateful to these guys for making airplanes like the CJ4, um, and the Baron. There's a G30 or G58 group working on that airplane. I think there's still the TBM group, which I'm not going to worry about them. I'll fly anything else but the TBM on FS 2020 for now. And I even think somebody's working on the Latitude, but last I've heard, it's having a lot of problems. Porpoising, flipping over. Um, Beautiful airplane, but I got enough airplanes that I'm flying a G1000 in. I don't need another one. Where I'd like to fly also is in Alaska. I want to see what that looks like. But I still haven't gotten very far in Europe. And it's and the great thing, the good. Are you interested in the PA-28 from Just Flight? Probably not. You know, I used to fly those airplanes in the real world. Those ratty looking, um, rental airplanes. I, if I want to fly in a sim, I want to, imagine flying an airplane that is not a rental. You know, I think they're doing a great job, and I love what they're doing. But that's just not what I want to fly. I mean, Coronado. What I would recommend Just Flight do is release an airplane similar to what Coronado is releasing, which has got it's cleaner, it's newer, it's got the manifold pressure and the RPM up on the dash where you can see it in the sim. I think it's a more practical one, and there's no reason for them not to do it. I was surprised at Coronado. That's the second or third time they've done that to another dev, where they release another airplane similar to what somebody else is releasing. I've seen them do that before. I don't know if it's bad luck or just them being jerks. Um, but if it were me, I would have at least waited a little bit rather than releasing at the same time. Oops. Yeah, I figure another year thereabouts, and FS 2020 will be pretty freaking amazing. I'll tell you when I know it's amazing is when you see more women flying in it. It sounds sexist, but the truth of the matter is there are just very very few. But when you can, because there's a lot of women pilots. Why aren't there a lot of women simmers? I like the older school GA planes with steam gauges for MS. Everybody has their own preferences. Yep. Let's go back to the main menu. Yeah, somebody put in a request for somebody to take the BE-58 and turn it into a um, make a steam gauge version of it, and I agree with that. I'd like to see a steam gauge version of that. So this one comes with both. I'd like this. Let's see. Does this one have steam? This one's got a G1000. That's why it's got the G. This has got a G1000, obviously. They've got two versions of this, right? One with and one without. Go back. Cockpit. Cockpit. Yeah. Is this the one you're flying? I like this. I don't need a G1000. It gets kind of boring flying a G1000 in all those airplanes. Really, they don't have autopilot. Well, let's see, that avoids that problem, doesn't it? Let's see, this has... Yeah, that's it. Most of these... See, I'm not interested in these tiny little airplanes. So this one is steam, this one does not. DV-20, never heard of it. Extras, never really cared for this airplane. Pipistrel. Robin. I mean, these are okay. If in a pinch, I'd fly one of these. G36, G58. See, I'd like to see the BE-58 and the BE-36. I will not be surprised because I do believe somebody will. They'll make these in with steam gauges. I don't know if anybody's working on this airplane or not. You fly the NG with G1000 because I have the standard. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I like flying this one much more than I like flying this one. And this has the G1000. And this has Collins. I don't know. This is more like steam gauges. Yeah, nobody's really making any airplanes that I really want at all. You know, Coronado airplanes aren't even probably not as good as the ones that are being developed by the freeware guys. You know, they've got the Seminole. I don't like the way it's equipped, and it's buggy. Not bad buggy, just buggy. You know, but you know, these airplanes are still up and coming, and they're, you know, well, what airplane would I want for MSFS? I'm always partial to the Citation Mustang. Um, let's see what else. The Duke, the BE-60, which is kind of an out there one, but they used to have a BE-64 prepared that was amazing. I flew the pants off that airplane. And the Mustang and the BE-60 were the two I flew the most. I mean, I flew them a lot, both of them. What other airplane? Well, you know, the ones I like the most, you know, are the airplanes that you see when you just go out to the airport. You know, you go to some airport and you see these more common ones. Like there's a bunch of these that you just won't see anywhere. Like you'll see Cessna 152s all over the place. You'll see BE-36s. So I like to see the ones that if I go to the airport, I'll see those airplanes. You won't see a lot of Robins. You won't see Pipistrels. You know, you won't see these. You won't see those. That's for sure. These are just sort of, you know, airplanes that are out there. You might see some of these. You know, on nicer airports, you'll see some of those. Probably see some of these. But these airplanes that are just sort of weird, you're not going to see one of those. I'm not as interested in seeing those. I want to see the Barons, the Pipers, you know, the Cessnas. You know, the problem is, over here you see a lot of Robins because they're French. Oh, okay. So probably more like this one. Let's have a look. Yeah, steam gauge. I assume one of these is the throttle and the other one is the mixture? Oh, it's a stick. Wait. No, I guess they're both a throttle. This is the mixture. You see both of these there? I mean, do you see a lot of Pipers and Beechcraft in Europe? This is a tail dragger. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Coronado makes the most of these airplanes. The problem is they only make them, about 2/3 to 3/4 done, and then they leave it. And I get it. That's how they make money. But they can be a lot of times unfulfilling because of that. Whereas when Just Flight really puts, they put a lot of effort into that PA-28R and the turbo. Um, so yeah, it's on my list of possibles. But they put, there was more than they were doing more than thinking about money when they made that airplane. I see Pipers, Diamonds, Cessnas, Sierras, Robins, those. Okay, Pipers. I like Pipers. I used to fly the PA-46 a fair amount. That's another Coronado. One that they actually did a really good job on. Wouldn't mind getting that one again. Yeah. And I was looking actually at some airports in Italy, thinking about getting a couple of those beautifully done airports. Somebody's making some really nice looking airports for Italy. And I mean, it's just, there's some pretty places to fly in Europe. I have not flown with the new update in England in FS 2020 yet. I've barely flown in it in X-Plane. I need to get off my ass and do that. Because I paid for all that Orbic scenery. And it's nice. So I kind of wonder if FS 2020 is using Orbic's stuff. Uh, oh. Okay. Listen, I gotta hang up. I gotta go. I gotta call a couple of folks. Scotland in FS 2020, because I'd love to fly in Scotland. I saw somebody fly. What was it? I think the CJ4 in Scotland. But I was watching him fly the CJ4 and I wasn't watching the scenery. Thought he flew to Inverness. Maybe. I'll do that. I will. Anyway. Alright, I will try it. I'll try it in both. I paid for both, right? I'll try it in both. It's good talking to you. I've got to call a couple of folks. Maybe I'll catch you back online. Might take up the 737 and try to see if I can not break it again. Alright?